Have you lost your job? Have you lost a loved one? Are you exhausted caring for your parents, for your kids? Well, you can find immediate relief when you read Sheila Mack's new #1 bestseller, Bootstraps and Bra Straps. It contains the Boots formula to move from rock bottom back into action in any situation, especially right now. If life has knocked you down, pick yourself up with Bootstraps and Bra Straps. Get your copy at www.sheilamack.com today.
Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio, Mondays at 1 and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila. Are you ready for a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio, Mondays at 1 and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
Welcome to the Sheila Mack Show, reality at its finest. Here we have real people sharing real stories and actionable steps to help you reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your business and personal life on your terms. I'm your host, Sheila Mack, and today we have special guest, Stacey Gunnard. Stacey is an author, poet, and visionary. She's a spiritualist, a Bohemian soul that lives in her heart and speaks from her soul. So welcome to the show, Stacey.
Thank you, beautiful Sheila. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, and now this show actually started based on my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. And although I'm not that much of a psychic or visionary, I wrote that book right before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
And it's right on point. And so it hit the bestseller really quickly. And then I got invited on to this show. And so I'm happy to be here. And one of the things I like to start off each show with is asking about maybe a time in your business or personal life where you hit a tough situation and how you got back on track.
How much time do we have? No. Okay. Well, I opened my first store when I was 25.
Mm-hmm.
I had no history, but I'm a people person. I love people. And fast forward, a client that I worked with for a year doing readings and counsel, she didn't like where I was located and she wanted to buy me an actual store. Mm-hmm. And I said, stop. So P.S., she bought me a store. She put over $25,000 into it. It was stunning. But I choked to death in this location. It was not financial, abundant. However, from that space, you see, there's a blessing in every situation we're in. From that suffering, because I never had a financial issue since I was born, emotional, sure, relationship, blah, blah, sure. but financial, devastated. But I created Recycle Love, which I'm the most proud of. It's, image design. I wrote a book. I met my guardian angel in flesh. I mean, in flesh.
Wow.
I realized more than anything, because I was raised by royalty. My parents were the coolest. I don't know. I wasn't taught how to be a good person. I was a witness to it. So I know what decency is. And my sister, we're just cool people. Givers. I didn't realize that people didn't give because I never needed before. When I needed, I saw that people didn't help me out, and I was blown away. But it just showed me, wow, I'm really awesome. I'm really awesome, because I would never let anybody hurt. And I wouldn't let nobody would have to ask me. I mean, if I didn't notice, if I didn't pick up on it, and you need, I'm not, doing a show, look at me, go, look what I'm doing. You give because you're a human being. So you help people, and that's what it's about. That's what it is.
Beautiful. And then how did you get back on track once that war situation didn't really?
It was so, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I didn't mean to cut you off. Well, I got to just show you my book really quick because it does pertain. So I wrote this book, Recycle Love. Can you see it? Whoa.
Yes.
Mystical memoir. Mystical meaning about 15% of it is embellished. It's really cool. So I went to Salem when I was 25 with my two friends. The whole witchy and groovy and everything. And from that trip, when I was 25 in 1989, I saw these witchy groovy shops, and I came home, told my parents about it. My father said, let's do it. So I opened a store just like that. 25 years later, in 2014, when I was going through with the devastation, very bad time, me and a friend of mine went back to Salem like 25 years later. I can't tell you what happened, Sheila, but I got so empowered again. I just got lit up. We stopped at the cemetery to see my mother. And that, I did a little sage blessing, burning sage. And I can't even explain it. Because circumstances, one of my favorite lines, circumstances don't make the man, they reveal him. So what you're going through shows you who you are. That's it. 'Cause everybody's lovely when things are going their way. It was such an empowering time. I was like, Stacey, what are you out of your mind? You're God's favorite daughter. Like, what are you worried about? And just the shift of that consciousness, I swear, things started flowing. And I finally got out of that location, and here I am at home doing readings and TikToking and living my life.
Yes, I love that. And I'm new to TikTok, and that's where I actually first met you, is on the TikTok. So that is awesome. I love it. And you are very famous on there. So that's kind of cool. So now I would love to understand how your book unfolded. When you wrote the book, was this something that you were intuitively guided to write, or how did that show up?
You're very good. First, I'm going to sidebar you. You're good, honey. You're good. I'm a poet. I write. I just, what do I say? Because I do readings. This is my livelihood. I am not self-conscious on any level anywhere. I am just here. Here I am. So I always just say I deliver the mail. So I don't take credit for it, Oh, you're a psych. I hate all those labels and nonsense. I deliver the mail. So whatever spirit said. So a good friend of mine, Victor, he bullied me, actually. He said, oh, read me that poem that you wrote. I'm like, all right, sweetheart. And then after I was done, he said, useless magic. I'm like, excuse me? I'm getting, He said, write your blanking book. Write your book. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
I said, challenge on. And shazam, I wrote a book. And it was so easy. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Now, my dear friend, Claudia, she's a professor, college professor, writing professor, art history professor, blah, blah, blah. She edited it. That's a hard word to say because I self-published. I didn't know what I was doing. And she said I gave her a 75,000 word paragraph.
Oh,
And she did it so lovely. I'm so proud and impressed by it. It's really good. And it's angels, witches, ancestors, love lost. It's Cinderella meets Tina Turner. You know what I'm saying? It's really, I'm very proud of it. It's good.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I can't wait to read it. And I would love to learn now, as far as your abilities, using your spiritualism, visionary, where did that first show up in your life?
I don't want to sound like a idiot. Birth. It never wasn't there. It wasn't a career choice. It wasn't, this is what I'm going to be. And it was just me. I can't explain it. I've always been this way. My first favorite book as a little kid, I think it was like 7, 8 max, was The Ghost Next Door. I love the unseen world. I love mystery. I love questioning everything. I really am so drawn to that. Nothing gets me there. I mean, I was raised by Led Zeppelin and Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, so everything was magical. Everything is magical. And I'd have prophetic dreams, and it's just natural. It's just not an effort.
Right.
It's the class I took. And that's why I don't like the labels. Like, you know, psychic medium. Oh, you're a medium? I'm like, no, I'm a large, honey. Look at me. I'm a large. I am not a medium on any level. Yeah, I don't like all that. I like to say I'm a heart farmer. And it's not for you to be impressed with how wonderfully psychic I am. It's for you to get impressed by your ability to open up your space for you. Yeah, I don't want people impressed with me. Get off my leg. I want you impressed with you. So I help you weed the garden, and get all the garbage out for you to be so empowered and in love with yourself. Because that's the only problem across the board everybody has, not in love with themselves. See, I suffer from the opposite. I suffer from a very high self-esteem. I suffer. In my mirror, I'm the most gorgeous person I've ever seen, truly.
And that is such an important thing, believe it or not. There's in consulting and coaching that I do, one of the main things I do is mirror work, where people will get in front of the mirror and compliment themselves. And you know, it's really hard for some people.
I believe that.
It is. And they're like models on the cover of magazines that are incredible, and they don't like themselves, and they find everything wrong. And I'm like, wait a minute, you need to see the beauty in yourself.
I got one for you. This is so good. I have to lose weight. That's my issue. That's my issue. That's my issue. But I'm so beautiful, and this is how I know this. I've been through a lot. I buried my parents, been through horror, and in it all, I'm still love and light and open. I'm like a Jerry Springer episode, what I've been through. And I know you've been through. I checked you out too, baby girl. So blessings to us.
Yes.
I had a picture of, this is so deep. I had a picture of me and my mom. It was the last picture we had together. She passed when I was 30. She was 51. Disgusting. And all I saw for years and years when I looked at this picture was how heavy I was. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's all I saw. And then one day, Sheila, all I could see was my mother's hands holding her daughter. And I lost it. I lost it. The picture didn't change. It didn't Dorian Gray. Perception. And how dare I, who have been through such devastation and never shrunk, honey. I rise, baby. I Maya Angelou this. And still like air, I'll rise. How dare me not see this divine angel in the mirror? How dare me not be kind to her? That's where it is. So I always say I'm God's favorite daughter, and sit down, Beyonce. I mean, you get your own mirror and work it all out for yourself. I am fully realized. Full.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. That sounds like some healing work that you were able to get through. That may be a message from your mom there, that moment with the picture.
I'm sorry.
Maybe that was like your mom coming through.
Oh, yeah, that day when I saw the picture. Oh,
Yeah.
it was, I'm telling you, it was stunning. It really was a stunning moment.
Yes, that's something, and I really believe there is that connection where we still have our parents that have passed on. Our loved ones are with us in a different way. They send us messages and gifts and little guidance, sometimes really big guidance.
Love can't leave, honey. Where could it go?
It really is. And, you know, I lost one of my homes to the Ventura fire. And then I was going to lunch in Beverly Hills with two friends that actually weren't even from there, that flew in to see me. We had lunch at Cheesecake Factory. And I told them I had the weirdest dream last night. I dreamt that my grandmother and I were at my cabin house, and we had a slumber party, and we were laughing and talking. And then she said, "Look," and all this fire was around the house.
Oh my God.
Get away, get out. And do you know what happened? I did not go there. I was actually, that was a cabin house I was selling. And I usually would go up there and clean it and sometimes spend the night. I didn't go up there.
Oh my God. Yes.
Added fire insurance that I had lapsed that I didn't realize. And that next day was the Woolsey Canyon fire. And I said, and I called my friends and I said,
wow.
Remember I told you that dream about Grandma?
Wow.
Grandma was coming through loud and clear, and they were just blown away.
That is awesome.
Yes. And
everybody's got it. Yeah, everybody's got it. Yeah, spirit will always talk to you. That's why, like, I teach meditation on Tuesday nights. That is everything. Meditation is as magical as you could ever be. That is it.
Yes.
You receive every single thing. Everything.
So that's like a listening and a being able to hear. Now, when you were a child, when you first started, well, I guess you always had the visions or the guidance coming through you. And so with that, did you have family that supported that when you told them, or were they like, okay, honey, that's cute? Were they?
I was punished every day. I was a wild child.
Okay.
I was never pacified ever. And I could never be told what to do. Ever. I always ran my own show. I'm a truth speaker teller. So, hi, this is what I'm doing. Do it up. Even when I opened my store, my father, set me up in it. After a few months, it was terrible. It was so slow. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to close. It's not working out. I'm like, BS. And I stayed in retail over 30 years, 89 till May 26th of 2018, actually, just about 30 years in retail.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
My own show. Yeah, I just can never, I could never work for people. I'm just allergic to unkindness and lack of intelligence. I just zero tolerance for it. Loving and kind. I can't deal with anybody at all. I just don't have the tolerance for it. It's so offensive. Yeah.
There are some people that really need the structure of a 9-to-5 or where they're working for someone else. And there's other people, I'm very much like you, where I'm able to do both, but I've always had my own businesses and been more of a leader. When I work for someone else, I'm in a leadership position. And so that makes a really big difference, where I think it's like, I really think for myself and maybe align it with what's going on with the company I'm working with.
Yes.
But I'm not good at not being able to think for myself. So
most of the world, nobody was taught to think for themselves. Everybody was taught to conform. This is what you were taught. Read this book, there's going to be a test. And if you answer by being a parrot and, holding on to somebody else's truth, you're going to do very well in life. Nobody's been ever taught to think for yourself.
Yeah.
I always thought for myself.
That was one of the most important things that I instilled on my children. I adopted 3, and then I have 3 of my own. So there's 6.
Beautiful.
They're all grown. I have one in heaven now. He passed away last year with a heart condition.
Oh.
And he's always with us, obviously. But with one of the things I instilled on them is wherever you go, when you go to school, when you go to anything, no matter who the person is that's speaking or leading or teaching, you run that through your discernment and you decide if it aligns with your core values. And they still do that to this day. I'm question everything. And of course, when they became teenagers, they questioned me all the time.
Good.
That's good, because that's what we're supposed to. We had meaningful discussions and conversations instead of just accepting what somebody says because they're in a position or, have a title. If they're doing something that's not aligned and you just know, you have that inner knowing that that's not it. That's not it for me. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're going to fight with them.
No.
It means, you're not going to follow blindly.
Of course not.
Yes.
But when I was younger, I was really quick at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help being witty. I'm born this way. This isn't like, oh, give me this personality.
Right.
Now I temper it with, I'm more of a witness to things. And I don't yell. I don't get cray. I come up with little Stacey-isms. And one of my favorites is when somebody's doing whatever, oh, honey, I wish I was interested.
Yes.
I wish I was interested. I'm not. I don't go for the gossip, the nonsense, the unkindness. Never have.
Mm-hmm.
Because that to me is intelligence. I'm really not interested in any degree or wall certificate. I'm really interested in how you treat yourself and others, period. That to me is the mark of a person.
Exactly. Now, in my book, the first B in the Boots formula is for being. And one of my mantras is, in all I'm doing, it's who I'm being. It's how I show up, whether I'm having fun with family and friends, walking my puppy. If I'm cleaning my house, who am I being?
Yes, yes.
That energy and that how I'm showing up, no matter what I'm, sent to do, is what really makes a difference.
Yes.
Yes. It's so important.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Because we are our actions.
Yes. And I think that attracts different people and aligns different people in our lives as well. When we're being love energy, when we're not if we're in the gossip circle and we're in the drama kings and queens, and we're in that energy, you kind of attract more of that.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah. It's like, no, that's okay. And it's not to judge people in that space.
No, it's preference. I love people. And if they're off path and they need help and they ask me for it, I'm going to help their crown without telling everybody else about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not to be impressed. It's to be loving.
Exactly. I love that. That is so good. Now, I'd love to hear a little bit more about some of the chapters in your book and what that goes into in a little more detail.
Okay, thank you. You're really good, honey. I got news for you. Okay. So it starts. What you want me to? Wait. I'm sorry. What? Say it again. What do you want to hear?
I'd like to hear maybe your favorite parts of the book or points in the book that maybe would be something that you're feeling the listeners may need to hear right now, or that would be.
Okay, good. Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
In the quest for oneness and wholeness in your life, you're going to go through a lot of loss and devastation. This is a life, and nobody's exempt from that. But to have true faith in yourself and from the devastation, actually, I would like to just read this back to you because this will say it so much clearer. Okay, I have to get the light. Well, I have to say my name in it, so that sounds a little strange. But anyway, Spiritualist Stacey Gunnard takes you on a journey from tragic to magic, where personal loss and raw vulnerability becomes strength and the driving force is wholeness. A child doesn't have a choice. We rely fully on our guardians. Through the beauty of forgiveness and the passage of time, all can be healed. Do the work, dig up the roots, and go deep. Plant new seeds, and in time you will reap what you sow. The sweetness comes with the ripened fruit. Trust the harvest. So this is a testament that with faith and belief in yourself, you can rise above any clouds to the warmth of the sun with angels, ancestors, and spirit to assist you along the way, from self back to self. Self-love and intention are what drive her to soar within and heal all the shadow spaces.
Beautiful.
That's that.
That is so on point and necessary for this time.
Thank you. It's everything is about self. Don't go looking and picking apart everybody else. Bring it all home to you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you paying attention to that? Why are you drawn to that? Why? Know thyself, and because you're really not going to know anybody else anyway. You'll know what they show you, but you shouldn't be that interested in anybody else anyway. Be so interested in the self-knowledge that everything is by invitation that you're inviting in your life anyway.
Yes, that is important. And I know that many of the conversations I've had today with a variety of people, they're going through this transformation thanks to our pandemic / universal pause, whatever you call it. It's kind of like a refocus. It's like, why exactly was I doing that body of work, or why was I spending time with these people every weekend when it wasn't even what was aligned with who I am?
Habits and sleepwalking.
Yes.
Sleepwalking. So this pandemic where everybody had to be quarantined, it brought up a lot of fear, but it also brought you home. People are working their butts off and they're not even home.
Right.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What is your purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And to get in touch with that, that's the brilliance right there. Yeah, everybody, oh, this is what we do. We go get Starbucks, we drive here, we she foo. How about be with your people?
Yes.
So your family, your pets, your house that you're working your butt off to pay that you're never there.
Mm-hmm.
I love the reset. I think it was really a good, please, excuse me, of course, we take the horror out of it.
Right.
I'm talking about on the emotional level, the possibilities that it opened up for people to reconnect with their true selves, because nobody does that.
Yes, I know for my family and I, obviously, like I mentioned, we lost my youngest son in December.
So sorry.
2019 on the 21st, the solstice.
So yeah.
Yes, and that was really hard. And then my youngest daughter, they were so close. They were best friends, almost twins, my Irish twins, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home to stay with me and transferred her university and this and that. And she piped up in the backyard. She said, "Mom, if ever we needed this universal pause, we needed more time to heal, more time for this than we even knew. And I'm so grateful for this time." And so that's what she said. And I was like, yes. And as a mom, I am enjoying every second with my grown babies, spending more time with me and connecting more, because we have this special moment, this year or two, I guess, or how long, where we have that connection. And hopefully that will change. I think it changed the direction and the focus for a lot of people onto what matters most.
Well, look at you. I mean, you've been through so much in your life, and to bury a child, which is against the law. I mean, I'm such an empath. I could lay on the floor for you right here. That for you to be able to wake up every day and do what you do and still support and help people, you're an angel on earth. You don't even know. When is your birthday, may I ask?
November 26th.
Oh, Super Sagittarius. Okay. Hold on. All right, so you're in a 6-year in numerology this year, so everything's about your spiritual outlook and your home life.
Mm,
This is your entire focus since New Year's.
yes.
And do you have a Gemini around you specific?
My son that passed was the Gemini.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I just got a spirit rush. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's so with you. Yeah, I feel the Gemini. Okay. Yeah, big hugs. Big hugs.
Yep.
Yeah, you're beautiful, honey. You're really a beautiful human being. You really are.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. And what a gift. You know, this is, to me, this show, I believe every time that somehow it aligns that somebody is my special guest on the show, that the listeners needed to hear your specific message from you. And every time I meditate before the show, and that is my whole goal. And your book and your message is going to help many people, and that is the goal of what I do, and that's why I jump out of bed every morning.
Nice.
And know that it's aligned for me. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, well, you are very creative. You have that artsy freedom side to you that you really can't be tethered. You know, it's like the horse, the Sagittarius, half man, half horse. So you need the freedom and the expression. And music is also very important to you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, love that. Yeah, you got a beautiful, beautiful energy.
Thank you. Yes. And, it's just something that we all have. I'd love to maybe have you share with the audience maybe some tips and points for how they can maybe tune into their own intuition a little bit more. I know it's there for everyone, but a lot of times we have it slapped out of us as children, or, oh, don't listen to that. That's just, you just have a feeling, or you just had a weird dream, and listen to my dream. Was that spot on or what? You can't get any closer to that. And I had witnesses because I told the people the day before at lunch.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, you told us, and whoa.
That was a prophetic dream. Yeah,
exactly. And so how do people tune into that more? Do you have any tips?
Yes, I do. This is brilliant also. Perfect timing. Okay. First of all, and there is no religion. God is God. So everyone that has a different religion, that's just how it separates. And that's not fair, because God never had a religion. So doing any kind of work like Jesus, because Jesus was the greatest metaphysician of all time. I mean, water to wine and fish and loaves and bread. I mean, Jesus was the one. And we were supposed to not idolize him. He was the ideal. We were supposed to understand that we are just like Jesus, God's kids, same thing. So trusting the feelings you get, because everyone is connected to source, the divine mind. This entire planet, universe, what have, was created by the word, and God spoke. So everything is connected from a thought. This is how we manifest and create.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's not facing reality, it's creating. I quit smoking. Let me tell you, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
I love smoking, loved it, love my lighters, my ashtray, very Native American. I burn not champa and candles and sage, love smoke, love. And then I decided, you know what? You don't have to have a cigarette yet. When I woke up, you don't have to. And that turned into 7 days already. I just quit last Thursday.
Nice.
Just like that. No stress, no this. And everybody's like, well, they say. I'm like, who is they?
Right.
I say.
Mm-hmm.
I chose. If I want, I do. And I always said my whole life, I smoke because I love it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it anymore. I'm not addicted to anything. Boom. I didn't have withdrawals, nothing. I made a decision.
Yes.
So we are that strong. We decide what is truth and not. And by being still and quiet and getting shushy, the breath, because this is why meditation is the most important thing, because you get to see who you are and what thoughts come to you. So in my class, I teach like on Tuesdays, it's a Zoom gig, but you don't want to stop. Stop. You just want to allow and see where you go. And that's how you learn self. All you want to know is yourself. And not to be judgmental or unkind or wrong or right or superior or less than, just to be self-realized. And in that space, you find compassion for you. And from that, if I love me, Sheila, I have to love you.
Yes.
Because the pot drips what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not going outside of yourself when God, spirit, source, whatever you call the Most High, gave us connection to divine mind, to God mind. So that's the right thing. That is why people go to church, why they pray. They're going for that connection to God, to the oneness. And you can do that. There's all honor in all kind of ritual.
Right.
But you could certainly just wake up in the morning and 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I breathe in, I breathe out. And whatever I receive, I'm not going to judgy-wudgy. I'm going to accept it. Everyone has it. There's nobody more special than anybody else or less special. We are all connected to all that is. Now, the only difference is the level of faith. I have complete faith in spirit and source. I never know what I'm going to say. I don't have a script. Hold please. Well, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. So I just say it. I say it tongue in cheek. I deliver the mail. Whatever spirit says, I just deliver the mail, whatever it is.
When you were younger, did you have people come up to you and start sharing stuff?
Oh my God. Always.
And was there a time when that was going on where you shut the door to that or didn't want to maybe say, hey, I'm doing spirituality, I'm doing vision work?
I stopped reading for 7 years when my mother got sick in 93. From the minute my mother got sick, blah, 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 I stopped reading for 7 years. Everybody get away from me. My mother's sick. And then she passed. 7 years. And I had 2 spiritual teachers. I met them in like 89, 90 right there when I opened my store. Twins. They're in the book. I mean, so it's whatever. One of them said to me, in 2000, you have to get back to reading. I was like, ew, why? I felt like, ew, why? Ugh, get off my leg. She's like, it's what you're supposed to do. It's natural. It's spontaneous. It's what you do. She said, this is why you weren't left a trust fund, because you would never do your work. It was up to me. I mean, Beverly Hills, darling, and these swimming pools, movie stars. I'd just be laying by the pool, and I would never really be doing anything. I would just be chilling. I never wanted disciples. So 7 years I went without from 93 to 2000. And then I said, all right, I was told I had to get back to it. So I said, okay. And I did.
During those 7 years, did people keep showing up despite your...
Oh, yeah, but I sent them elsewhere. I had a store. I sent them out. Go see her. She's good. She's good. Go.
Okay. Is there anything coming to you that's maybe
yes.
happened?
Yes. We are, and I mean, God, we've been saying this forever, but this is true. We are in the age of Aquarius on the real. We were in Capricorn, okay? So now we have Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius now, which is a much lighter energy. So in this time, and the world is in a 5-year in numerology, and 5 is changes and love. So here's the thing. It's not a gimme, gimme, get me, get. That has to go away with the dinosaurs. It's
Mhm.
how can I serve you? How could I simplify? I mean, how much do you really need in life? You see, it's about really being present and connected and recognizing how fragile and beautiful life is and divine it is, and really being that fullness. Let go of the armor and the self protecting. Be more open and show up. Be vulnerable. It's the most beautiful thing you could be.
I
Most
love that.
gorgeous.
Wow. And it's hard to do. That's so hard to do for people, and it's important. I know I share about the 211. I don't know if you've heard about 211, but that's a phone number, or if you Google 211 and your state or province in Canada, it's a list of all the government resources that people don't know exist.
Oh,
So
wow.
somebody's in an abusive home and they need to get out, there's resources. There's resources if somebody's depressed and they need mental health,
Oh, wow.
or if they need to get food on the table, or help with paying their bills, rent, or help finding a job. All the things that people really need
Yeah.
this year that maybe they never needed before. This is so important. This was what I wanted. I didn't know
211?
211. I didn't know what it was.
Never heard of it.
Felt it was out there.
Beautiful.
Yes. So that's
Things about giving. It really is. It
mhm.
really, God loves a cheerful giver and receiver. It's giving, giving, giving. And without that space, and Maya Angelou, one of my favorites,
Mm.
you can't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You got to be able to throw something back.
Yes.
You have to take care of people. It's what matters. It's what matters.
Yes, and one of the things that I loved, I did a lot of work with Tony Robbins and traveled with the group for 7 years and all that, and one of the things that I loved in his trainings, he does this breakthrough training, and he talks about every time somebody needed a serious intervention and they were going through the darkest times in their life, one of the assignments he would give them is to go volunteer and
Yes.
have someone work than you. And
Yes.
like when you are in your heart, you cannot
Yes.
in your head. And it is life changing. And
Power.
yes, it is. And I tell you, if you're looking for a job right now and nobody's hiring, and
Yeah.
you have a passion for helping animals, helping with whatever it is you love, go volunteer.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, they will see you. They will offer you a job if you're showing up and showing your talents. This is a free way to show your talent and do what you love anyway, helping others. You're out of your head. You're not sitting at home depressed.
Yes.
Maybe you're home, but you're doing phone or Zoom or whatever, but they're going to see you and your essence and truth, and you will get a job offer. I have had so many, when I was younger, so many job offers just from volunteering that I was like, I never signed up for that job or this, I never. And it would just, opportunities show up when you're willing to show up. You've got to.
It's half the bell. Show up, knock on the door, it'll open.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's all about, I mean, there's nothing hoarding. Even when I had a store and I had a hippie, spiritual, groovy store forever, nobody ever just purchased something and left. I always gave, here. And my friends, stop giving everything away. I'm like, honey, don't worry about it. And I wasn't doing it like, ooh, look at me. It's just nice. Who cares? Here's $1 crystal. Who cares? You give. It feels good. You do it for you, and everybody wins. And vulnerable is strength. That's real strength. Anybody could act, oh, I don't care. Open up. It's delicious. Delicious.
It is. Even with parents at home, be honest. Be honest about what you're going through.
Yes, this is
What's happening. Not to scare your children or maybe young adults, but just to let them know what's really going on. And they'll be like, okay, let me pitch in.
Yeah.
It changes the dynamic where you're working together as a family to rebuild and reorganize during this interesting time. And it makes it like this solid relationship, open, when you're able to be open with your children, they start opening up to you. And then you get to hear all their secrets, which is awesome. But you really want to know.
Wish for, yeah.
Yeah, you really do want to have that open communication. So when something doesn't feel right for them, they're going to come to you and say, hey, I saw this girl doing this, or that kid did that.
Yes.
And it didn't feel right, Mom. And that's why, because, if you model the open conversation, it'll start showing up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's children, they're not listening to what you say. They're watching what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't listen at all. They're watching. Ba, ba, ba.
Yes.
That's the nature. That's the nature of it all.
Now, what would you say, Stacey, if you had a wish to maybe do one thing this year or have one change affected in this world this year, what would that be?
Well, right away I went to myself. And you said, the world. I was like, oh, okay, that.
Okay, one for you and one for the world. How's that?
Yeah, well, I want my book I want Oprah to read the book and it to become a movie. And then I can help so many more people. I would like people to stop trying to impress others with stuff and show up more. I would like people to really be able to look others in the eye and say hello. I say hi to everyone I see. If our eyes meet, I'm hi, hello, hi. I'm not flirting, or I'm a person. I would like people to feel safer connecting with our brothers and sisters across the globe, that everyone is the same and everyone is life's child and everyone has value and worth. From the garbage man to the CEO, nobody is any better than anybody. We are all one in this life together.
Oh, I love that. That is so beautiful. And, one of my experiences working with some very incredible people that you would think, oh my gosh, they're so well known, whatever. They literally, when they go to do an event or something like that, they will go and they will greet and introduce themselves to everybody.
Like a person.
Clean, every single person. They will make friends. They will be so connected and loving, and that energy, they will have success, and they're very blessed.
Authenticity.
Yes, that's what it, and it's that, those are the kind of people that I like to surround myself with. Those are aligned, and it's just, they've learned that. It's a beautiful thing that a lot of them have learned over the years, but that's just who they are, and that's how they got to a place. And what they do is they give back. They're always finding a way to give back, to help with one organization or another, to do a nonprofit, and they really do. Their actions are speaking for them.
You see this? I don't know if you can see it. Sugar balls. Can you see it?
I see it. It's a net. Is it a heart?
It's recycle love. It's this image. It's my dream. It's what I dreamed.
Oh, wow.
It's recycle love, give and receive. Give love and receive love. I made a t-shirt, dream that, and then I had an Oprah dream and dreamed the pendant. It's give and receive love. It's everything that matters in life. Give, receive love, recycle love. That's it. That's all we are, is love. That's all we are. So give that, give that, give that.
And when you're in a space of love, the energy, I think back in my life, the energy of love, it produces oxytocin, chemicals in your own body that scientifically, it doesn't even matter if the other person doesn't love you back. It doesn't matter.
I can't believe you just said that. I wrote this thing about recycle love. I said, give love, even if it's unrequited. So what? Just give. It doesn't matter. Just love. It's delicious. It's delicious. You feel it heals everything. Nothing love can't heal. Happy people are pretty healthy. Let me just say that. Happy people are healthy. That's all. Yeah.
Yes. And just living in that love energy is where you're happy. whatever's going on, it just brings more happiness and love. And people are attracted to honesty, authenticity, and that love energy.
Who doesn't want to be around somebody that makes them feel good? I had one grandma that was, oh, you're like, I'm starting trouble. I'm like, ew, I don't want to be around her. And then I had my nana and nanny. I was like, oh, the sun rose inside of me. Of course I want to be around them. People that make me feel loved and fabulous. Not somebody who's thinking I'm doing something wrong. Ew.
Right.
Nobody wants to be around that. You want to be around people who love you.
Yes.
Love you.
So if you're listening in and you're looking for love, go be love.
Be what you want. Be it.
Mm-hmm.
Starts at home. You loving yourself is everything, because from your love of self, then you know what you're giving.
Yes.
I love me, and because I love me, I love you. And it's not a conceited, stuck up. There's nothing affected about it. It's humbling and delicious. And from that space, there's nothing required. There's no judgment in it. Hi, I love you. You're beautifully flawed like the rest of us. Beautifully flawed.
So much easier that way. And we need that more than ever.
And it feels good, even better.
Yes. In this world right now, I think this time needs that healing space of love. Our children, young adults, it doesn't matter if you have children or not, but they need that security of the love energy in the world, not people angry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that.
We're in a much better place, dear. We are in a much more beautiful, compassionate, caring place. And you're seeing from children how they're taking care of others, how they're going across the board, the table, because it really does matter how you treat people. It's everything, because it defines who you are. It defines you. So I always tell, like in my practice readings, when you're dating somebody new, don't be impressed how they treat you. First of all, watch how they treat themselves, because that'll be coming. And watch how they treat the waiter and watch how they treat others. Because everybody puts on that best foot. No, watch how they treat themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How I treat me is pretty much how you're going to be expected next. This is for you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so, I mean, imagine if you don't love yourself and you're not caring for yourself, how do you have space to love and care for another human?
Oh, I said once to a mother, I said, Mommy,
yeah,
how are you loving your children if you don't have it for yourself? What are you really doing then? Wow. She heard me.
Yeah.
She heard me. I mean, if you don't know what it is, what are you giving? What are you doing? If you don't know what love is, you got to know what it is. And if you can't look in the mirror and see how beautiful and divine and beautifully flawed you are, how will you see that in what you created? And these children that came through you, but from God, how will you see the beauty in them if you don't see it in you?
Yes, our children are definitely our greatest teachers.
I guess.
Yes, they do. They really do. Let me tell you.
I've never had a need to breed. That's my mantra.
They will tell the truth. Think about it. If you go to a elementary school, a preschool, maybe a first grade class, and you walk in, they will tell you like it is.
Oh, yeah.
They will tell you.
I love truth. I think it's beautiful. It's brilliant.
And it's so much easier. That, like, do you want to play? Do you want to go play on the swings? No, I want to play on the slide.
Exactly.
Nothing personal. And they're like, okay, cool. And it's over.
I understand why people think, oh, I'm sparing somebody's feeling by lying to them. You're not sparing. You just ruined the relationship because it's not authentic.
Right. Yes, that's it.
If I have a commitment, you and I have plans to go to dinner tonight, and we made the plans last week, and I was all excited and but today I'm not in the mood. I'm going to call you Sheila, love.
Yeah. I'm
sorry. I'm just not vibing that way today. Love you. And you're not going to take it personally. You'll be like, oh, that's a bummer, but I get it. It's love and respect.
and honesty. And then people know, okay, when I ask Sheila, she's going to tell me the truth. I don't have to worry.
Yes. Nothing is better than the truth. And then you never have to remember what you said. It's so easy to be honest.
It's so easy.
So easy.
Well, we are coming to the end of our talking time, so I'd love for you to share maybe how people could join your classes or get a reading, maybe buy your book. How can they connect with you for those things?
My website, I guess, would be fabulous.
Okay.
StaceyGunnard.com. Gunnard. I guess they'll see my name. I don't know how that works. Yeah. And everything's there to register in the book. And I'm also on TikTok, Stacey Gunnard. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So readings, it's all on the website.
Outstanding. All right. Well, thank you again for being a special guest on the show. And we will be back after these messages.
You are lovely. You are lovely.
You too. All right. Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. All right, if you are just tuning in, this is Sheila Mack, host of NBC's Sheila Mack Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. And one of the things we did mention during our talk today is there is a special resource that not a lot of people know about. It is the 211 resource. So if you Google 211 or call 211 in your state or province in Canada, you will find a lot of help for friends, family, or if you need help yourself. 211 is a free and confidential service that helps people across North America find the local resources they need. They are there to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So keep that in mind. Things that they can help with are food resources, mental health, healthcare, housing, transportation, income, utility assistance, and much more. I know they have senior care, senior programs. They have programs for veterans. And so check it out. If you are listening in and maybe you're an employer or you have a business or company, please share this valuable information. A lot of times people don't like to get vulnerable and ask for help when they need it. But if they have a chart or just a little information about a place where they can get resources, or maybe they can refer somebody else who may desperately need resources right now, then that can really be a game changer in someone's life. So share this as much as you can about the 211. And I am so grateful to have you all tuning in here. That is one thing that I made sure of is when I wrote my book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. I really had the intention of sharing my experiences and some incredible stories that I have to share, other people's stories. And this show also is about people sharing stories of how they got back on track after hitting a tough situation. And my goal was to get as many resources out to people as possible, because one resource can make all the difference on how fast a family, a business can get back on track. So thank you again for tuning in, and here is a little bit of homework for you. Have Mastermind live weekly courses, and those are available at SheilaMack.com, SheilaMac.com. I have to let you know something, just between you and me. This book is not one size fits all, just like a pair of boots or a bra. So the formula is designed to help you through any situation. For you to grab a copy of my new best-selling book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, the formula to go from rock bottom back into action in any situation. It is now available on Audible as well as on Amazon and Kindle, and at www.sheilamac.com.